Ever since emulators became a thing on iPhone, including the Delta emulator, it seems like a lot of emulators have been coming to the iPhone. Could we see another W when it comes to emulation on the iPhone? Today's article is from RetroDodo, and it is the Folium 3DS emulator on its way to the Apple App Store after gameplay video circulates. And I say question mark on the emulator because we're gonna take a look at a few tweets here. Again, this article is from RetroDodo. Make sure you guys leave them a like. The article was written by Seb Barbara. No, I am not kidding. That's a nice name. Uploaded today. So let's take a read. iPhone emulation is all everyone is talking about right now, especially if you have an iPhone. And after the success of dropping on the Apple App Store, everyone has been wondering what other console emulators would arrive for us to sync our retro teeth into, especially me. So for PPSSPP, no, I am not saying that three times fast. I'll just say P squared S squared F P squared has been announced in the being in the works, and Providence, which we talked about last time, promises to bring PS1 and Sega Saturn games to the mix. Thanks to a post by Snowlatch, which we will take a look in just a little bit, we now know that Folium, a new iPhone 3DS emulator, is heading our way. We can clearly see that Mario Kart 7 playing perfectly fine while the iPhone owner sits on a train, which means the emulator should be ready to drop very soon. And we're going to take a look at the thread here for Snowlatch in just a quick bit. According to Central Leaks on X or Twitter, I'm going to always say Twitter, you'll need an iPhone 15 Pro or newer be able to cope with the processing power required to make 3DS games run on iPhone. Older models won't be able to cope with reacting games at full speed, meaning you'll be in for some glitchy gameplay if you're still if still rocking an iPhone 8. I am rocking an iPhone 8. Central Leaks also claims that the app will be the first paid emulator on the App Store too, coming in at $5 and $5 euro if you are in in England, excuse me. So that's the first part of the article. The second part of the article is about Nintendo. Nintendo stands on emulation. Nintendo isn't afraid to lay down the law literally when it comes to uploading and distribution of ROMs of their games. Just recently, Switch emulators creator Yuzu received a hefty slap on the wrist and an even heftier $2.4 million lawsuit for aiding piracy around Tears of the Kingdom. Yuzu also created Citra, a 3DS emulator that many gamers use one way or another as either a source of emulation or core. Another emulator that is now no more. That's correct. That is true. We talked about that a few weeks ago with Citra and Yuzu being being um being dropped because of the Nintendo. So let's talk about this latch known latch when it comes to the Twitter thread, and we have it here. So as you can see, Mario Kart 7 being run on the iPhone. This is currently on the iPhone. I believe he is using a controller. It has to be a controller. He's not pushing buttons on the phone. Um, 4 hour. He was taking a 4 hour train ride. Felt like 4 minutes to him. Hey, if you have an iPhone and you want to play some Mario on the train, it's coming to you. So let's take a look at the replies coming in from Snowlatch. Existential says, I have Folium, but I never knew this emulator thing and have no idea how to get games on it. Nobody explains anything about it. Snowlatch replies with he's gonna have tutorials. And if I decide to get the Delta or the emulators on here, I'm gonna provide tutorials again. So don't worry. Let's see what else we have. Let's see what other replies we got here. Please, can surviving high school work on this? I like that one. I like that reply. That's true. That's a good one. Um, but Pa- Paolo says the following. But TGE performance is not yet great, especially considering that Apple does not allow JTT. Snowlatch replies with, "The game was running at full speed though. I can deal with the rare audio issues and here and there." And then the replies continue with, "On a 15 Pro," and then Al X's says the following: Fire emoji because that phone better be hot." That is true. That is absolutely true, especially if you have the older iPhones. Because what we just read in the article from RetroDodo. Keep in mind that it's still under approval, by the way, under approval. Under approval meaning the app might not be on the store when we after the video is over. So you're gonna have to wait for a little bit. If if the emulator does drop on the store and they have an article on it, I will bring that to you as gaming news. But today's question of the day for today: how on a scale of 1 to 10, what is your feeling about emulators on the iPhone? Because Android has already gotten them ever since. This is the first time Apple has gotten onto the game of emulation, especially with the Delta emulator. So 1 to 10, how excited are you that emulators are now on iPhone? That is the question of the day. And we'll see you guys on the next gaming news article, wherever gaming news is. Enjoy, and this is Yuki Gaming News.